Hi everyone, hope you're doing good. In the previous video, I did revise based on list indexing and how do I access elements in the list, right? So today I will basically uh, change items in the list. So how do I do it? I'll just type change items in list, right? So I'll just copy the list that I created before, right? This one was the list. I'll just copy paste it here. So I have the list here, right? Now suppose I want to change apple to papaya. How do I do it? I can basically access it via the index number, right? So to change the element in the index, I'll just use fruits. So apple is at index number 1, right? It will be papaya, right? Print fruits. So if I just print, so here apple is removed and papaya is inserted. So what happens is that in list, if I do operation in the main list, on the main list basically, the main list gets changed. So for that, most developer use to create a backup list, basically copy the list or create a copy of the list so that the main list is not affected. I will just do that later on, but now I'll do another way. Suppose I want to change the range of items like banana, pears, and pineapples. How do I do it? It is also very simple. I'll just use fruits. Now, based on the index slicing that we did previously, banana is at index number 2, right? And the stop would be pineapple. Since pineapple 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, I just need to select 5 so that 4 will be selected. So here I will just insert guava, then watermelon, then dragon fruit, right? Now if I type fruits, it will basically change those elements. So this is how I can change items in the list based on the index number and through slicing based on the range, like multiple items. So now let's create another cell. Now we will basically add items to the list. The first way we will create using insert method, right? So we'll just copy the list here and just paste it right here, right? So I have the list here. Now suppose, now we'll work on the meat list. Suppose I want to insert another item onto the index on which fish is there. The fish is at index number 2, so I can do it using meat dot insert. Insert will take two commands. One is the index number, the index, and there is the object or the element that I want to insert basically. That is, I will insert lobster. So now if I print meat, so here I see lobster is inserted at the position 2 or the index number 2 and fish gets to the next index, right? Now suppose I want to add more items, I can use the insert function in basically insert method, or I can use another way, that is append method. So what does append do? Let's just figure it out. It's meat dot append. Append will take a single element, that is the object or the element that we are inserting. So suppose I want to insert salmon. So salmon would be inserted So how it will be inserted, we'll see. Now what it does is that if I print meat, I'll see that salmon is inserted at the end. What append does is that append basically add new items onto the list, but at the end of the list, so that the main list index has not changed. The previous items will stay at the same index, but the new item will be added to the end of the list, that is here. So suppose I want to print the index number of salmon. How can I do it? uh, just let's just comment it out. Print index of new item salmon, right? So to do that, I will just use print meat dot index. So index will take object or the basically the element. So it is salmon. So I print it. I can see at 5, index 5, salmon is added, right? Now suppose I want to add two lists or more lists, basically multiple lists. I can use another method, that is extend. How can do it? Now I will use this list, or I can just create a copy. Let's create a copy of list. Copy, sorry, that is combine is equal to uh, fruits dot copy. What it does is that now if I print, we'll just copy it, just use dot print combine, it will give me the same list, this one. Now since our list has already been modified, I guess in which portion it was modified, fruits dot copy, mango, apple, banana, pears, pineapple, chicken, yeah, it is here. Now since we appended basically, just a minute, in this one 1 2 3 4 5 the list create does all the elements. Okay, it's basically how you can use append to combine both the lists, or extend to combine both the lists. Let me just check it out. We added lobster here, so the new item is this meat. Okay, now meat dot append, we did work on the we didn't add, just a minute, combine is equal to fruits dot copy. Just a minute, let's just give it a different name, combine. Now if I print it, you can see it copies the list item of fruits. I think it use some different variable before, which I used to practice. That's why it's basically combine all the items. Now I want to basically do combine dot extend. Instead of extend, just typing comma extend. What I will just extend meat. Now remember, meat has been modified here. The here the meat will have salmon. So if I print combine now, what it does is that it included all the items. Basically it combined both the list item into a single list, right? Now let's jump into a new code block. Now we'll see how we can remove items, right? So to remove items, we'll just create a new list now. The list should be, let's just create a new list, years, is equal to 2010 2020 3026. Another will be months is equal to Jan, Feb, March, comma, April, comma, May. Right. This is two lists, years and months. Now, suppose I want to remove items. Remove items from the list. So to do that, I will use years dot remove. Years dot. Let's just print years first. Print years. 20, just 20. You can notice one thing is that list also accept duplicate items. So just change it to 21. 20, 21, 23, 26. Okay. So here I have the years list. Now I'll just use years dot remove. Now remove will take, as I can see, value, that is integer. So it's saying I need to input the index 2. Suppose if I'm just using index 2 and if I type print years, I'll just comment it out so that it doesn't get printed. Now if I print 2012, which one will be removed? Just a minute. Ask me something. So it is not asking. Okay, so it is asking me the value, basically the items, not the index. 2023. The new list comes out with 2023 removed. Right, this is one way. This is basically removing using the list items. There is another way, removing items based on index. So I'll use pop method. Let's just remove one item, that is months dot pop. Let's just remove March. What is March index? It is 2. So if I just write print 2, so print months, so March is removed. So this is basically how we can remove items from the list. It's pretty easy, right? Now I did one copy of list before. There is another way of doing them also, but before that we will see how we can iterate our list. Basically print each item of the list separately. So let's just create our code block. Again we'll use this one, this list. Now let's go about now iterating or using for loop. Using for loop. Now let's use a loop for years, not years, for items in years. Print items. What it will do is that it will basically print each items single by single in different rows, because the for loop will execute each item in the first instant. It will be 2020, it will print 2020, then again it will move on to the loop, then it will 2021, then it will print 2021. So if I just run it, you'll see it created a 4 row value. So all of the items, each items get printed, right? Now what I'm gonna do is that there is another easy way also, just like the previous one that we used copy and also use extend or adding list. I can do one more thing. Suppose I want to add these two lists. I can use the extend function, I can use the simple blank list, or I can use iteration through loop. So we'll just use loop, right? So to do that, what I'm going to do is that I will just write for x in, before that let me just define one list, total is equal to blank. It is a blank list that will have all the items of the list, right? So herein I will use for x in years, then to be total dot append x, then another loop will have for y in months, total dot append y, right? Now the total list has been set. Now if I write print total, I can see all the items have been added to the list, right? This is one way of creating a new list from both the lists by using the loop. I can simply do also this. If I write print years plus months, it will give me the same results, kind of same results. But since just a minute, I did a mistake here. It's years, not year. Now it will give the same result, right? So there are many ways I can use append or extend. For example, if I just use extend, what it does is that now, as you can see, if I am using months here, so it does it that for will basically iterate over each item's length. That's where it comes out a bit different compared to the what do you say, append method. So herein each element is iterate over its length, then the value has been added onto the final list. So that's why there is a difference between append and extend. So herein if I see, extend list by appending elements from the iterable, right? Like for instance, since y, for example, here total has been appended with the element this one, right? In this phase we have got this one. Then the next phase y will iterate over each element. Now when y gets iterate over months, the first one will come as January, right? Now when I am writing this part, total dot extend y, what will it give? Now extend y, it will do is that the loop will extend basically iterate over January, February, March and April, but with its element, each element's length. So that's why it printed separately each elements, Jan, Feb, March, April and May. So like I will do it again, I'll show it. I'll just choose append, right? Now suppose I'm just taking out this list, got it? This is a list, right? I'm just using um, let's just create another list. We new new dot extend meet print new. So what it does, that it basically selected every items just like the previous append method, but here since for loop is used, the result is typically different, as each item's length is iterated and added to the list. So I would also need to do it again, means later on I will go through that. Now coming to the last one, that is sorting of lists. Sorting of lists. Now how do I sort? Let's just go through the list again. We'll just use this list as reference. Sorting basically is the way of arranging the lists, either ascending or descending. If I just use years dot sort, I will just print the years. What will it give? It will basically arrange the list based on ascending order. Since it's already ascending order, it arranges in ascending order. If for instance I write 199, right, it arrange the elements in ascending order. Now to get elements in descending order, years dot short. By default Python assumes it's false, that's why it ascends, basically arrange them in ascending order. So I just need to write reverse is equal to true, which means I need to change the list preference to descending order. This is what it says, right? So if I type print years, so it arranges them in descending order. Similarly goes for the second list, that is months dot short since it doesn't return anything like that, it cannot just use print over here. Okay, I will just use this one and I will just print months. Let's see what it sorts by. It will obviously sort by ascending order, but it sorts according to the first elements in the alphabetical order. So A comes first, then F, then J, then March. Since length of March is more than May, so May will come first. Now May comes last. Just a minute. It arranging in ascending order. A, April, okay, then February, then January, then March, and May. Okay, I got it. Okay, it's saying that it will arrange in ascending order based on the alphabetical order and also based on the length. So the length of, suppose here March and May are there with M coming at the front, so it will arrange, it will select the one which has more elements, right? So to do the descending order, we'll just do the same, but here we'll use reverse is equal to true. So it will just give us this one, right? So we've got this one. So now we'll just check the length. Now just check the length of the list, that is years dot length. I don't think length will work like that. So if I write print years, print length of years, length years, will it print? Yep, 5. So it is 5 elements, correct? Now suppose I will just create another list. That is x is equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, y is equal to 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. Now if I want to add each element of the list, will it work? Figure it out? No. Rather it just combined the list, it didn't add each elements. That is where the disadvantage of list comes out. We can do it in list by using loops, but that's where list disadvantage is that it is not able to add them like this. For that we basically use numpy, which I will go in later on videos. That is a numerical python. So to just add the element, we will basically try, let's just try it if it is working out or not. I just want to add the element onto the new list, right? So for that, let's just create another list. Z is equal to blank, right? For items in X, Z dot append items just a minute. I don't think that will be the work. For items in X, okay, Z dot append, in Z will append elements wherein will basically append the items which will iterate over X. Item plus would be what? Plus let's see whether I'm print Z error. I knew that was error. Plus 90 in the list. There's something I think I need to understand this. I think I just need to set it what let's search how do I add items. To some items into lists. It should be easy, but I think I did some error. It's not like that. Let's see. They're going very deep. I just need a simple way. not like that. I think they've used list comprehension. I will not use now. Follow. Okay. Okay, I got it. I understood now. So there is a zip method which basically does select each elements from the list, and then we can use append to print them. So if I just use this one, not this one, just change it a bit. For items in zip, yeah, zip x comma y. Just one, what did it do? Then the same one, right? Okay, we need to select both. I selected items comma values. Got it. Now this is how it printed the value. Okay, so this is what how you can print values and basically add each elements to each other instead of just um basically appending them. So this is how the operations of list are there. There are many more way to solve these things. In the latter video, in the next video, basically I will try and learn about list comprehension and try and solve basically some questions and revise them. I hope you found this video helpful if you are learning along. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.